Lucas woke up early every morning. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a warm glow over the small farm. The soft breeze carried the scent of fresh hay and morning dew. His parents, Ava and Jacob, worked hard to maintain their farm, but it was a humble life. The house was small, made of old wood, but it was warm and cozy. The farm was all they had, and Lucas was proud of it. His father, Jacob, was a sturdy man in his mid-50s. He had a strong, weathered face from years of working the land. Jacob was a man of few words, but he cared deeply for his family. His hands were calloused from years of labor, but he still managed to smile when Lucas would join him in the fields. Ava, his mother, was a gentle and loving woman. She spent most of her time in the kitchen, preparing meals and taking care of their home. She had a kind face, always full of warmth, but Lucas knew that beneath her smile, she worried about their future. There was never enough money, and the farm was too small to provide for all their needs. But they made do, and they were happy. Lucas had grown up in this place, and the land had shaped him into a strong young man. He had spent countless hours working alongside his father, learning how to grow crops, tend to the animals, and fix things around the farm. Lucas was hard-working and had always dreamed of a better life for himself and his family, though he never really knew how to make it happen. He loved the farm, but sometimes he felt that their small world wasn't enough. He dreamed of something bigger, a life with more comfort and opportunity. The thought of one day leaving the farm and finding work in the nearby town had crossed his mind often. One warm evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Jacob called Lucas over to the porch. The air was cool, and the birds were singing their evening songs. "Lucas," Jacob began, his voice low and serious, "we've been working hard for many years, but this farm won't grow beyond what it is now. The crops are good, but we can't keep up with the demands. You're a young man now, and you need to think about your future." Lucas nodded. He had known this day would come. His father had always been proud of the work they did on the farm, but Jacob also understood that their way of life couldn't sustain them forever. They needed more. "I know, Father," Lucas replied quietly, staring at the fields stretching out before him. "But what can I do? This is all I've ever known." Jacob sighed and leaned back in his chair. "There's a town not far from here. People go there to find work in the shops, the factories. You might be able to find something that will bring in enough money for us to live better. You could even send some money back to us to help with the farm. It's not easy, but you could have a future there." Lucas was silent for a moment, taking in what his father had said. He had never considered leaving the farm before. It felt like a big decision, one that would change everything. But deep down, Lucas knew his father was right. He had to try. "I'll do it," Lucas said, his voice filled with a mix of uncertainty and determination. "I'll go to the town and find work." Jacob smiled at his son, proud of his courage, but there was sadness in his eyes too. "I'll miss you, son, but this is the right thing. You're strong, and you'll do well." Eva came outside just then, holding a basket of freshly picked vegetables. When she saw the look on Jacob's face, she knew what was happening. She set the basket down and walked over to Lucas. "You're going, aren't you?" she asked softly. Lucas nodded. "Yes, Mother. I need to find work to help the family." Tears welled up in Eva's eyes. "I'll miss you so much, but I know you're doing the right thing." She embraced him tightly, and Lucas felt a lump in his throat. He didn't want to leave them, but he knew it was time. The next morning, Lucas packed a small bag with clothes, some food, and a few coins his father had given him. He had said his goodbyes the night before, but as he stood at the edge of the farm, ready to leave, a wave of doubt hit him. Was he making the right choice? What if the town wasn't as kind as he imagined? What if he couldn't find work? These thoughts raced through his mind, but he pushed them aside. He had to try. He had promised his parents he would return one day, and he meant to keep that promise. With a final look at the farm, Lucas began his journey. The road ahead was long, and he didn't know what to expect. But he was determined to make it. Lucas had never been to the town before, and the journey was harder than he had expected. The road was rough, and there were times when he felt tired and hungry. But he kept going, knowing that the town was his best chance at a better life. When Lucas finally arrived in the town, he was amazed by how different it was from his farm. The streets were crowded with people, and there were tall buildings everywhere. The noise was overwhelming, and Lucas felt out of place. He had spent his whole life in the quiet of the countryside, and now he was in a bustling town full of strangers. Lucas wandered through the streets, hoping to find a place that might offer him work. He knocked on doors, spoke to shop owners, and asked if anyone needed help. But every time he was turned away. Some people looked at him with pity, others with annoyance. "No jobs here," they would say. "Try again later." After hours of searching, Lucas felt disheartened. He had no money left for food, and he wasn't sure what he would do next. He sat on a bench, feeling defeated. Maybe his father had been wrong. Maybe there was no future for him here. Just as Lucas was about to give up, a voice interrupted his thoughts. "You look lost, young man," said a deep voice. Lucas looked up to see a man in his 40s standing before him. He had a kind face with a short beard and bright eyes. The man was well dressed with a vest and tie, and he looked out of place in the busy streets. I'm just looking for work," Lucas said, feeling embarrassed. The man smiled warmly. "Well, I own a little shop just around the corner. I could use some help if you're willing." Lucas couldn't believe his ears. "Really? I'd be happy to help," he said eagerly, standing up from the bench. "Good," the man replied. "My name's Mr. Parker. Come with me." Lucas followed Mr. Parker down a narrow alley, and soon they reached a small shop. It was neat and tidy, filled with all sorts of items, tools, books, and some food. Mr. Parker's shop was a far cry from the busy stores in the town center, but it was charming in its own way. "I could use someone to help organize the store and assist with the customers," Mr. Parker explained. "It's not much, but it's honest work." Lucas nodded. "I'll do whatever I can. Thank you for this opportunity." Mr. Parker smiled. "Don't mention it. I believe in helping others when I can. You'll be working for the next few weeks, and we'll see how things go. I'm sure you'll do fine." Lucas quickly settled into his new life at Mr. Parker's shop. Each morning, he woke up early to help prepare the store for the day. The work was tiring, but satisfying. He learned how to sort the products, arrange them neatly on the shelves, and greet customers with a smile. Mr. Parker, though a busy man, was always patient and willing to teach Lucas the ropes. He had a calm way about him that made Lucas feel at ease. "Customers like things to be organized," Mr. Parker explained one day as they rearranged some shelves. "They come in, they want to find what they need quickly, and if they can't, they leave. But if you help them, they'll remember you. You'll get repeat business, and that's how you keep a shop running." Lucas took the lesson to heart. He worked hard every day, learning new skills. He cleaned the shop, helped with orders, and even began to assist Mr. Parker with the accounts, writing down sales and keeping track of the money. As the days turned into weeks, Lucas grew more comfortable in the town. He no longer felt like a stranger. He had made a few friends in the neighborhood, people who stopped by the shop regularly. They would chat with him while shopping, and Lucas felt like he was becoming a part of something bigger. He also began to earn money, and it was more than he had ever imagined. The pay wasn't extravagant, but it was enough to send some home to his parents. Every month, Lucas would take a portion of his earnings and send it in a letter to Eva and Jacob. They wrote back, telling him how much they appreciated his help. The money was a lifeline for them, allowing them to buy better seeds and tools to improve the farm. As time went on, Lucas found himself thinking about his parents more and more. He missed them, his mother's cooking, his father's quiet presence. The first few months had been exciting, but now the town felt different. He realized that no matter how much he worked or how much money he earned, it would never replace the warmth of home. He thought about the farm and how it had shaped him into the person he was today. It wasn't just the work. It was the memories, the moments spent with his family. One evening, after closing the shop, Lucas sat down to write a letter to his parents. He told them about his life in the town, the work he was doing, and how he had earned enough to help them. But he also mentioned how much he missed them. "I think it's time to come home," Lucas wrote. "I've done what I set out to do, and I've learned a lot. But the town isn't the same without you. I can't wait to see you both again." Lucas sealed the letter with a deep sigh. He knew he had made a difference in the lives of his parents, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. The town had provided him with the chance to earn money, but it could never replace the life he had left behind. Now, from this point, the story will be continued in the next part.